Welcome to Prudent Gaming. My name's Michael, and recently the Final Fantasy VII Remake has been released after years of waiting, and I'm very excited about it. Of course, I bought the Deluxe Edition because I buy the special editions of all of the Final Fantasy games for the PS4, and I just wanted to do an unboxing video, just a small video, just unpack what we get included, see what's in there, and just take a look at everything that we got. I don't usually buy special editions of games, that's mainly because there's so many of them and I can't afford it. Plus, if every game is special, then none of them are special really, are they? Anyway, I only get it for particular games, and in my case, all of the special editions I have are for all of the Final Fantasy games that have been released on the PlayStation 4. And obviously, recently, Final Fantasy VII. The remake has been released, or the first part, I should say, and I just wanted to do an unboxing, basically go over what's included and yeah, how it all looks. So obviously here, first off, we have the box. It's nice. I mean, you got this raised title here, obviously saying Final Fantasy VII Remake. Deluxe Edition isn't raised, that's fine, but it's all very shiny, holographic, and I like what they've done here. So the black part of the box, in fact the rest of the box, it's not glossy or anything, it's very matte, and I think that gives it quite a bit, it gives it a premium feel, I think. I think it makes it feel like a deluxe edition, you know? So, turning over, looking on the back, we have, obviously it tells you everything that's included, the Sephiroth Steelbook case, the 64-page hardback art book. I'm a sucker for art books. Obviously the Final Fantasy X remaster, that came with an art book as well, and I love looking at all the concept art. All the art for the Final Fantasy games are absolutely just gorgeous, and obviously you can see here that it's just amazing. And it comes with a mini soundtrack CD, which I have no way of playing because really, you know, my PC doesn't have a CD player. When I built it, I thought I'm never going to use CDs. Whatever, anyway. And it got bonus summoning materia. Funnily enough, I actually got a bonus Chocobo materia to download as well, so that was fun. Here we got obviously what the game's about. It's a 20-year-old game, over 20 years old, so most of you probably know what it says, but essentially, the world is under the control of Shinra, a corporation controlling the planet's life force as Mako Energy. In the city of Midgar, Cloud Strife, former member of Shinra's elite soldier unit, now turned mercenary, lends his aid to the Avalanche resistance group, unaware of the epic consequences that await him. That's pretty good elevator pitch for it, to be honest. Down here we have, obviously, one player. This is not a multiplayer game. Goes through everything you need. Interestingly enough here, it says 2 discs, and we'll get to that in a minute, because that is quite interesting. And of course it contains violence, which is why it's rated as 16. No mention anywhere of the fact of the cross-dressing. Maybe that's not part of any criteria, but I don't know, some people are quite sensitive to that sort of thing. One thing that actually amuses me is right here, it says items not to scale. And to be honest, if I had a box this big, and I opened it up and my steelbook was that big, I'd be pretty mad, to be honest. But let's open it up, shall we? So, side. The one thing, I don't know, maybe I'm in a minority, maybe I'm not, but I don't like getting both the standard case and the steelbook case. I would rather just have one of them, and that's because I just don't like having empty cases lying around. But we'll start at the top and work our way down, shall we? So here we have the main case, and the cover art is very reminiscent of the North American release of the original. We didn't get this cover in Europe. I mean, I definitely don't have it on my PS1 copy. Then again, I did get the Platinum version. My discs weren't Platinum though, which was interesting. Yeah, we have the lovely cover art of Cloud looking up at Midgar. And the back, very similar to box. The only thing that's missing is the top left-hand corner, showing what's in the box. And yeah, like I said, here it says 2 discs. Now, if we open this up, good luck trying to use the code that's here because I've already used it. So we have here disc 1, and the other disc is in my PlayStation. I probably should have prepared for this. Anyway, I'll just go over this briefly. So this is the first PlayStation 4 game I've seen that uses 2 discs. Now, don't be mistaken, it's not like the old Final Fantasy games where you have to switch discs midway through, although I do miss doing that. That's just, I don't know, there's something about switching discs halfway through where it's just like, yes, I've made progression, it's just such a milestone. But obviously, the amount of data you can fit on a disc now, you don't need to do that. So this is a data disc, it says here. And so you put this in first, and it installs it. It's quite a big game, it installs quite a lot. And then you use the other disc to play. Now, I'm not sure why it does that, and why you can't just use one disc. I'm not certain on that. But that's what it means when they say there's 2 discs. You're not switching halfway through, you need to install with one disc first, and then with the other, use it to play. In here we have the add-on code for Cactuar Summoning Materia. And just some terms and conditions there. Got save 10% on the Play Arts figures, which I probably won't get. They are very nice to have as collectibles, but again, with me in the interest of saving money, haha, saving money, you bought the Deluxe Edition. Anyway, it's special, it's Final Fantasy. Anyway, yeah, I can't afford to just buy loads of collectibles. That, and I don't really have the space, and I have a baby who likes to throw things around everywhere, so. Of course, we have adverts inside for Avengers, Final Fantasy XIV, and Kingdom Hearts 3. Still need to play this. And then in here, just to register your game on Square Enix. And I'm not going to show you the code because I've not done that yet, and I would very much like to register. We also have in here, so as I put things back, a reversible cover. Now, just remind ourselves here, the front is Cloud, and with the risk of not being able to put it back, inside it's just a black cover, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I prefer the Cloud version that we have on the front, so I will not be reversing that. But it's nice to have. It's nice to have the reversible cover. I know some people probably would like to change that and have the different cover, but it's nice to have the choice. Just pop that over to one side. Here we have the mini soundtrack. Now, like I said, I've not opened this because... See, I never actually opened this, so when it said mini soundtrack, I thought it was a mini disc, and I'm completely mistaken. I could probably put this in my PlayStation. I mean, I don't know anyone that uses discs anymore, but maybe it just means it's not the complete soundtrack that's used in the game, it's just a selection of songs. But here on the track listing we see we've got the Prelude, Tifa's theme, Shinra's theme, Scorpion Sentinel, On Our Way, the Turks theme, Let the Battles Begin, Flowers Blooming in the Church, Hurry, main theme of Final Fantasy VII, Lay Down Some Rubber, Stand Up. Funny thing is, I was listening to this on a YouTube video the other day, and they got the track listing spelling wrong on track 4, Scorpion Sentinel. They called it Scorpoing Sentinel. Now I said, I don't remember fighting any Scorpoings anywhere, but that's the soundtrack. And it is a wonderful soundtrack, it really is, it's gorgeous. Just hearing the works of Nobuo Uematsu just fully orchestrated for this, it's a brilliant experience. We have the Deluxe Edition Artbook. Wonderful art of Cloud on the front there. Now, I've not actually looked through this, so it would be nice to go through. I'm not going to go through it all now. I'll just go through the different sections that are in here. So section 1 is the characters. Section 2 is the summons. There's not many summons in the game. I won't list them off. I'll let you see for yourselves what there are. But there's a handful. I think there's about 5 or 6. And that includes the additional DLC ones. Section 3 is enemies. Section 4 is environments. And a lot of these environments are beautiful. They really are. They've really brought Midgard to life here. Section 5, gadgets and tech. Very interesting to look at. And I will be looking through this later on. here we are, one of the main events, the Sephiroth Steelbook. This is gorgeous, this really is, and I am a sucker for steelbooks, especially the Final Fantasy ones. If you look at my shelf, the only steelbooks I own are for Final Fantasy X and X-2 Remaster, Final Fantasy XII, and Final Fantasy 15, and now of course Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I will be getting deluxe editions for the next parts of this game, just so I have the complete set. I've been a Final Fantasy fan for a very long time, and it's a series that's very dear to my heart. I always go banging on Twitter about how Final Fantasy IX is the greatest game ever made, and I will die on that hill. Anyway, here we have Final Fantasy VII Remake, Sephiroth Steelbook. So the gorgeous art that has been shown off at every point. In fact, this, a smaller version of this, is my phone background, and has been for quite a while, even before the game's release. Now, usually I would be using this Steelbook as the standard case, but with all of this coming in one big collection inside a box, the whole box goes on the shelf next to all of the other Steelbooks, so I just leave all the discs in just the standard case that they came in. Well, that's not strictly true, because the game disc is in my PlayStation, because I haven't quite finished the game yet, but I'm very close. I'm on chapter 17, and I'm looking forward to seeing the finale, and then subsequently what comes next. I'm very careful with putting this back in the box. I've got the collector's edition of the original Final Fantasy XIV, which is pretty much useless at this point, but I was very excited when I first got that, and when I put it back in the box, I accidentally bent some of the box and the game box as well, the plastic on that surrounds it. I'm very upset about that. Anyway, this is the Final Fantasy VII Remake Deluxe Edition set. It did also come with this lovely lanyard that I've not quite found a use for yet. In fact, I've not even opened it, as you can see. It does look very nice, and I do want to use it, but like I said, I've just got nothing that I can use it on at the minute. Currently, with everything that's going on, I'm not at work, so I can't use it for my security key. But maybe I'll do that in the future. But that was a nice surprise to see the lanyard come with it. I really hope you've enjoyed taking a look at the Final Fantasy Remake Deluxe Edition. This is the first time I made this sort of video, so please let me know in the comments if you'd like to see future videos just like this one. It really helps me out if you just to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing for more just like this, if you want more like this, and for more in-depth analytical views of games. I have another video lined up looking at the side quests in Final Fantasy VII and why they're not acceptable. But you'll see that in the future. But now, why not get a taste of my channel by looking at why you can't get lost in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.